Man, first of all, I just want to say thank you, God. Um, I just got off of the call with these people. I've never tried to present myself as a perfect person, but I like that about me. I like the fact that my imperfections, I'm just so thankful I never had to paint myself in certain ways. That makes me think I'm an angel. I'm not. But I get on the call with these people. I'm with this trash that just really are so disturbing. Not too long ago, if you didn't see the last video, they just made me imagine having sex with a 4-year old. And the reason why they did that is because in this program, they can manipulate your brain and make you think in whatever ways they want. It is so nasty. And today, they tell me that they're gonna frame me with children. Now, by saying that alone, it should give you an idea of what this is about. This is not a program protecting children. This is a program that's using human beings as test subject. That's what it is. And participants are just opportunists. They come in all shape and form. I was on the call, and this woman tells me, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Seattle and this and that." And they make me think of me when I was in Seattle, and I ended up being with somebody intimately from Seattle. And I know my videos as always something like that because that's how they try to paint the reality of things. They have this systematic tactic of just trying to make you imagine a story that they create themselves. This is not the first. At one time I was in Canada, they're like, "Oh, this person," and every time they make me imagine whoever I was with was underage. That's the thing. Every time I can be, as if there's a way to make me imagine that they'll do it. They even tried to do that when I was in China. When I was like, it's just crazy. It's the same story. Now they make me imagine this person who I clearly don't even have doubts. She had tattoos and like clearly a young adult, and I was a young adult, maybe a little bit older, a young adult, maybe just turned 30 or just 29, about to turn 30, but she was probably like 24, 25. But it's always about trying to make me imagine this way because today is so simple. My imagination, my thought process can be created the way they want to. And I'm getting older, so like me as a closer to my 40s, when I think of see those 20-some-year-old, sometimes it's hard for me to tell if they're adults. It's because the distance in age has made me look at them more like they're children when they're not children, they're young adults. So today, they make me think of this person who's clearly in her 20s, early 20s, tattoo. She present like a young adult. I'm not like an old man. I'm like 29, 30 years old. And they're just trying to make me imagine another person to be underage. Now, this is the same people who just made me imagine having sex with a 4-year-old in my mind, just forcing me into this thoughts. And then I'm on the call. Oh, this morally righteous person just like, oh my gosh, they're gonna die in hell. And then they have children today they're framing me with. And she's a mother with children that she will not have her children the same age of these kids pretend to get raped, right? That's so nasty. So she goes into like, oh my gosh, yeah, they baited you. This retard didn't bait anything. If anything, they come near me, they bait themselves into getting knocked out or harmed. So what I detest the most, one I've seen before, is like these people who make themselves like I'm not morally perfect. No, like I know who I am. They're just flipping it, rewiring it in this pedophilia thing. And recreate stories in that way. And they have no shame. And they're like, yeah, gonna die in jail because they're gonna have a child pretend to get raped. That's the nastiness we're talking about. And they really stick with the stories they can put in your brain. But the stories are the same things. It's like so predictable. You're gonna make me think of somebody I was with intimately, and then make me imagine them to be underage. And me, it's like me in my 20s with somebody in their 20s, or me like in like early 30s with somebody in their 20s, or somebody like that, or me in my late 20s or something like that, and some young adult who's about to be 20 or something like that. Always to try to paint the story, and they have no shame. And then they have this trash around you that get hyped by, oh yeah, no, but it's like trash. You're a freaking retarded child who's pretending to get raped. And you have people who won't have their kids do that, but have this moral compass that somehow can be okay with children pretend to get raped. Disgusting trash. That's why, one thing I learned from this thing is I'd rather be flawed, with my imperfection, fully aware of myself, than stand around and present myself as this morally compassed. But it was like, no. And I'm not perfect. Let me just say that I'm not perfect. I know who I am. But I'm not gonna stand out here being okay, encouraging children to pretend to get raped over something that you make somebody imagine, just because you want to be an opportunist in this, and then be the great mother that you are, the great father that you're. Disgusting trash. You just make me imagine another person to be underage that's not underage, and they do that all the time. It's gonna be something else. And mind you, that this one is not even easy because you can tell that she's like a 20-some-year-old, tattooed and everything. Just like these people, if I ever been with somebody like that, they can make me imagine, and me being with them like as somebody who's not much older than them, they can make me imagine these people to be underage. In my mind, easily, because it's not about reality; it's about what you can make somebody imagine in this program, and they can make you imagine. Literally, they can force thought process and imaginative story, and then they have this purpose around you that's to make you believe this bullshit. They act accordingly. Oh, you're paying hell, dying hell. So you're saying that because you think that's gonna make me identify with this false narrative? Clown. They have no shame. Target individuals stay strong and see these trash for what they are.